Let's talk for a moment about letter naming fluency. This assessment is done in kindergarten, at the beginning of the year, middle of the year, and end of the year, as well as beginning of the year, first grade. We use this assessment just as a general guideline to see if students know the names of their letters. While this assessment is included in the kindergarten and first grade composite score, it really does not go along with any of the objectives that we are trying to assess. It's just an FYI piece. If a child struggles with this, then you know they're probably going to struggle with the letter sounds. This is an example of the student materials that the student will be able to see during the test. And here are a few things to remember when scoring. First of all, if a student gets the letter correct, the letter name correct, you do not do anything. You just keep letting them read. If they get the letter name incorrect, you will tap that letter and it will turn red. If the student gets the letter name correct, or incorrect, and then self-corrects, tap the letter again and it will turn green. This self-correction must happen within 3 seconds. At the top of the screen that you are looking at, it will have up here a little dot, dot, dot that you can follow in order to make sure you're keeping up with 3 seconds. If there's an articulation or dialect issue, such as some of our students may say "ara" instead of "r," you would still count it correct if it's an R. Some countries, instead of saying Z, they say Z. If that were to happen, that would be fine, because some of our students are military students, so they've learned to read in different places in the world. So just be cautious of that, be mindful of that. If the student has a speech issue, make sure that you let whoever's assessing your student know that, so they can listen for those kind of things, so they don't mark letter names incorrect that the student is actually saying correctly. After 3 seconds, if they have not said the letter, mark it incorrect. If a student misses all of the letters in the first row of the measure, the device will ask you if you would like to discontinue. You may go ahead and discontinue. This can be counted as an L or an I. This is definitely an I. So if you see this, you can count it as an L or an I. Either one would be correct. Do not count it if they say 1, because we are not assessing numbers, we're assessing letter names. If they skip a letter, you're going to tap it and count it wrong. If they skip a whole row, you will tap the X on the left and it will mark out the whole row and it will not count against them. If at any time during the assessment, the student starts to go from the top to the bottom or just points randomly, you may show them one time which way to go and say, "Go this way," and sweep your finger across the row. Again, this is a one-time reminder. If the student skips 4 or more consecutive letters, but does not skip the whole row, try to say each letter name. So if they're just skipping over letters, this is what you say one time. If the student says letter sounds rather than letter names, you're going to say the letter name, not its sound. When a student stops, and it's not because they're hesitating on a specific one, you can say as many times as you need to, "Keep going." If a student loses their place, you can point to the letter where they need to be as many times as you need to. Remember, it is correct if they say the correct letter. It's correct if they say the correct letter but are using their dialect or an articulation issue. And if it's similar, such as an uppercase I and a lowercase l, you could count that correct. It is incorrect if it is the incorrect letter name. It is incorrect after 3 seconds. It is incorrect if they skip the letters. You may choose to practice this if you would like. If you go to mclasshome.com, go to training, go to Dibble's online scoring practice, you will see this video, and this practice session is available there. And the directions for how to go through the audio recording to practice your L&F skills are there. Please take advantage of that if you feel that you need to practice this assessment.